Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 10 U.S. Destroyer gearing. There are, as is often the case, a lot of really good ships. You got Kaga, of course, which is a, a, a very effective, let's just say that, very effective CB in capable hands. Palmer, which is we'll call it a freemium. Borodino, Austin, Tone, Trump. On the other side, Kearsarge, Puerto Rico. There's a lot of devastating firepower. Now, what am I worried about in the gearing? Well, of course, the Lexington, right? Um, it's not that it can blap me like a Midway can, but it can keep me spotted and it can do damage for sure. Same thing with this Kearsarge. That thing can let the red team know right where I'm at. And part of the effectiveness of any destroyer, in my opinion, any destroyer that makes use of torpedoes for damage, if the bad guys know where you are, they know how to angle, and that will help them avoid your torpedoes. This is a radar threat. This guy can hit you from a long way away with aircraft, which those aircraft can do a lot of damage. This gunboat can just shred you, and it's difficult to run away from him. He literally can chase you down because of the speed of the Kleber. Holland is a torpedo threat. Torpedoes move really fast, so even if you're moving away, they can chase you down and catch you if you're unable to avoid them. Same thing goes for Estergetland. And of course, Benson is a gunboat, and he has to be pretty close to be able to do any real damage. But that's kind of in my mind, that's kind of what I do with every game. Kind of what are the threats here? Of course, this is a long-range secondary threat, and that's usually true of these as well. Okay, so on we go. So what am I going to be looking at? Let's just go ahead and move forward here just a bit. I'm looking at how best to be effective. I can see that somebody is down this way, which tells me that there's probably somebody coming on the outside. And our Trump is heading out there with the Austin, which just has me gritting my teeth. I hate to see that happen in the beginning of any game, but you know, what are you going to do? COG is going to be sending some aircraft out that way. And now I've got all three of these ships apparently going on the outside, which leaves me alone in here. Now, why did I decide to show you this game? Well, you might think, well, maybe Ronan had a colossal game. No, I didn't. Maybe Ronan had a lot of red ships sunk. No, I didn't. The reason I decided to show you this is because when playing a gearing or really any destroyer, detection, you want to try and help your team know where the red team is, help take out their destroyers if possible, and securing caps. And in this game, I did my best to do those things. Give my team vision, although we do have a CV, secure cap, and kind of run screen and irritation to any red pushes. You'll see what I'm talking about as we're going forward. If you're an experienced player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to be super effective and have a monumental game and get the damage award for a particular shoot. You don't have to do any of that to be playing well. In this game, I topped the scoreboard, and and was effective. Now here, the Lexington's coming this way. I don't really have any choice unless I want to turn around and run. I don't really have any choice but to just suck it up and try and shoot down some aircraft here. He's not going to have time to be able to adjust his angle and get those torpedoes on me. And based on what I saw, all the red ships are over here and cannot shoot at me. So I'm just going to see what I can do. I do manage to shoot down a single aircraft, and that's with defensive fire. The state of AA in this game is just ludicrous, which I'm sure you're aware. Now, why do I run defensive fire rather than speed boost? Because in most games I don't need the speed boost, and occasionally I need the defensive fire. I have had games with 20 plus aircraft shot down, all a little too often for my liking, honestly. I'm going to see if I can catch this Bismarck coming out from behind the island. Because he's visible, he's probably going to slow down here. Yeah, it looks like he's already slowing down. But I'll put him out there anyway. I've got 40 seconds till I secure the cap. Kaga is going over the rock there. Maybe he spots something for me. So I know I've got Holland and Kleber on that side, along with Haarlem and Schlieffen. Now that is a Bismarck, right? But it's not the Bismarck I was looking at. Bismarck I was looking at, I think he slowed down. And there is the other Bismarck. So I'm just going to try and get turned around here so I could run away from somebody behind the corner there, right there. Alon's going to go pushing out there, and actually he's going to get himself caught. And this is actually a good, this is a teachable moment. Let me wait till I get, there we go. So we got this rock right here that I've been using in case a destroyer comes around this corner. And I know that we had aircraft that just went this way, but it's possible because of the very small, you can see the tiny little circle around my ship. That's my air detectability, and that's true for Benson as well. And I'm still concerned there might be a destroyer back here and that we might have torpedoes coming from this direction. And Olan pushes right in. And he's trying to get close enough to make really great use of his torpedoes, which I can understand. This is really dangerous, especially when you don't have smoke to hide if you need it. And my torpedo's whipped. I'm reversing right now to maximize my chance of being able to get torpedoes out. And there's the Benson. Now I've got 9 seconds, 8 seconds. So I'm hoping to get these torpedoes away before I have to start firing on the Benson. But I really need to get guns on the Benson. Our Hollande is in big trouble. Down he goes.
Smoke generator started.
I'm going to be fine here. And our aircraft have that Benson spotted, at least for the time being. I'm going to hold the torpedoes for a second. And try and figure out where the Bismarck is going to go.
Problem solved, sir.
We got the cap. I don't have to sit in the cap.
Smoke screen set.
And I don't want to wait for Benson to rush me down, because he might. Because he has a Bismarck right there waiting. So I'm positioning myself to be able to run away. I expect the Benson to be coming right back, and I imagine he probably will. Maybe I catch the Bismarck with one. He knows the torpedoes are on the way. Haarlem's beginning to push in. All of our guys are now forced north. There's Benson guns. I know he's close because they were so close to the water. He's just shooting into the smoke hoping to catch me. And I did land one on the Bismarck, and I'm going to be able to just shred this Benson when he comes around this corner. He's still just hoping to catch me.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
I'm detected, so I'm going to get moving. Holland, he's probably not going to come out behind that rock, but just in case. And we'll put one a little closer. Now, in some cases, I might push in there, but in this case, I'm not going to.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I'm just going to sit right here in case he pokes his head out. I didn't turn my AA on because I don't want him to know I'm still sitting here, but the Lexi's going to come anyway. And I really need to help the Bismarck.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
And they flipped the cap. So we're down to one cap. Bad guys have, well, three, although our Yugamo is doing his best to secure another cap for us. He's working on Bravo. Now all these guys know that I'm here. They know that I'm a torpedo threat. I'm tempted to go down and try and find the Holland, but instead I'm going to get some torpedoes off this way.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Just put some in that gap there. Turn around. Yeah, so we got more guys coming. I thought about putting them into the island there and cover that gap, but opted instead to flood that lane on the outside. Maybe I can catch the Bismarck.
Torpedoes to port.
And unfortunately, that guy's going to stop a lot of my torpedoes. Yep. It's alright. Okay, so it's time for me to move back this way. So here we are. We're 8.5 minutes in. I've got 35,000 damage, more or less. I did manage to sink a Benson that pushed in. He made kind of a YOLO rush there and died. I don't want to push too far south. Now we lose Bismarck. Our team's down 3. The bad guys are down 4. And our Yugamo, with some help, has secured the Bravo cap. But the score's tight. You know, we do have a little bit of a lead, but not much. We're up 26 points right now. It looks like we've turned their push, but the Bismarck is still coming. And now it's just the Kurfürst and the Tromp here. And I'm going to try and catch this Puerto Rico. And I have to make sure I stay out of his radar range. Now, you might think to yourself, well, you know, get closer, make sure, blah, blah, blah. But if you get detected, there's almost no chance of catching them unless you can get all the way broadside to them to put torpedoes into them. Our Kurfürst manages to finish off the Harlem, but the Kleber finishes off our Kurfürst. We're down 4 ships. Bad guys are down 5. So what was I saying a second ago? The guns on the Puerto Rico are ridiculously accurate, at least in my opinion. And you can see he's turned, and there's my torpedoes aren't going to do anything. Holland has me detected. I've just got to do what damage I can to the Holland. Look at the dispersion on that Puerto Rico. It's really tight.
Smoke generator started.
And I managed to get very lucky there. But I am making use of the smoke. Now, I'm not going to sit in the smoke. You'll see a lot of players, they'll be sitting broadside thinking, well, I'll be able to use all my guns when somebody gets close enough for me to see. Yes, there is a group of aircraft from my CV going right over the top of me. So he is going to light up that Holland. But I don't want to sit broadside in the
Smoke
smoke.
screen set.
And just get some torpedoes out. And I'll back toward my smoke a little bit and just try to make use of it against the Holland. Now his torpedoes may be on the way. And he shot down all those Kaga aircraft, but I put 15 shells into him. And I should be able to finish him off when I see him. I'm still able to use my smoke. And our Borodino finishes him off. Alright, so was I a hero? No. Did I do anything amazing? No. But I'm still alive. I'm still in the game. Now, Kleber, he's pushing toward the Kaga. Puerto Rico, pushing toward the Kaga. Now I have Borodino, which is going to help with him. My job is to make sure this guy doesn't reach him. And if he gets close enough to spot him, their Puerto Rico can shred our Kaga. He's just sitting there broadside. Holland torpedoes our Borodino. He goes down, so now I have no help here. So I have to stay out of the Puerto Rico's radar range. You can see he's moving alongside the island there. I've got 11 seconds till torpedoes are back up. I'm going to choose to focus on the Kleber. Now I'm a little disappointed to see this happening. These guys chasing this. Because right now these guys don't have shots out this way. But, you know, what are you going to do? Those Kleber guns are very accurate. I do not want to get hit by them. You can see my shells do next to nothing to Kleber. I'm just dodging and weaving, trying not to get smashed. And why did I put torpedoes there? Because Kleber is aimed that way and he's really fast. So maybe I catch him. Kaga's already all over the Puerto Rico. And I don't have a choice but to try and help out here, I think. So Kaga puts 2 torpedoes into his side. He's slowing way down. Bear, no, that didn't work out. He stopped.
Our victory is in sight.
And we have a points lead, we have a caps lead, we have a ships lead. This is looking pretty good. And again, I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything remarkable. I stayed alive. And is he able to get to our CV? No. I slowed him down. He decided, you know what, I'm going to stay here. I'll help this guy. Which I consider that a win. You know, 51,806 damage. That's not much. But again, I did top the scoreboard. And, you know, you could argue, and probably rightly so, that nobody played a truly exceptional game here. Okay, well, that's true. But, you know, every game isn't going to be a series of rewards and accolades. You're playing to be effective. You're trying to help your team. And I feel like I did that here. Still, now watch this. Yeah, that's that accuracy I was talking about. And this game's in the bag. You know, we got 838 points, a significant points lead. We're up 2 ships, but all our guys are kind of out of position. Pomeran's doing all right, but the Yamato, he's way down there. Yugamo, way down there. Now, I'm not saying anything bad, but Yugamo's taking 2 ships, and he helped secure that cap down there. He played a good game. But it's me in the CV against this Kleber. He's got 15,000, almost 16,000 HP. I've got 10. And Lexington's up here as well. So I've got 2 choices. I can start firing now while he's visible, or I can wait until he gets closer. Now I'm just trying to get an idea of what he's doing. It looks to me like he's bobbing and weaving, but he's just going to kind of stay on more or less a straight line. I'm going to be detected here. Getting a little help from Palmer. I've got smoke available if I need it. I do manage to take out his torpedo tubes, at least temporarily. Doing a little bit more damage now that he's close, but still not a lot. I've got a little bit of an HP advantage, but his guns are much better for this than mine.
Smoke generator starting.
I've got a CV over the top of me. I've got him right behind me.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I probably should have used my defensive fire, but was kind of aiming, so didn't. But this game's going to be over, right? I'm just doing such little damage. This thing has such great damage absorption, essentially.
Smoke screen set.
Oof, I whiffed.
Torpedoes to start.
And there we go. Now with CV's help, I was able to help finish off the Kleber. And our Kaga's still here. Now those torpedoes, it looked like one set that kind of came this way. That was meant for me. I don't know whether he sent another set toward the Kaga. But right now they've got a Yamato and a Lexington. We've got myself and our Yugamo and a Kaga. So with this 310 point lead, I think we've got this pretty firmly in the bag. So Alfonso 2005, great job. You're going to pick up this cap and help us secure the win. Again,
Problem solved.
you don't have to
sir.
do anything amazing. You don't have to set any records. You don't have to pick up the Kraken or the Confederate or anything else to be effective when you're playing really any ship type. You know, in this case, I happen to be playing a destroyer, but you know, you'll hear players say, "Do your job." Well, these were kind of the jobs of the destroyer, so that's what I did. And I hope you got something out of this. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time.